Howdy folks, Desert Horizons, AZ Off-Grid Unplugged RV. This is going to be more of a rant than anything else, partly because of the difficulty I had getting a company to help me set up my solar and then get it done right. To start with, there was a couple of local companies here in Tucson that I contacted about getting solar set up. I explained what I wanted. I said I got about $4,000 roughly budget. Can you help me? First place was, sorry, the person's on vacation and won't be back till next week. So I left my info, left my name, all that stuff. I says, contact me when you get back. We'll do something. In the meantime, I went and contacted another company right down the road from where I lived. It's unbelievable. Go in there and talk to the guy. Oh yeah, we'll get you all set up. I'll get you a quote. Boom, right away. We'll get that tomorrow. I said, cool, because I want to get this going. Week later, still had never called me. Finally, after almost about 3 weeks, he sent me an email. I just blew it off. It's like I wasn't interested. Then the next thing that happened was I'd pretty much been doing lots of investigating, lots of figuring out, lots of whatever, to figure out what sort of a system I wanted, how batteries I needed, panels I needed, what I wanted. So I contacted Renogy via their custom quote page, and I explained to him, I said, this is what I want. You know, the couple of the components that I wanted to integrate into it, and can you help me out and design me a system? I said, I don't know what it is I'm doing. I don't know about the breakers or circuits, any of that sort of stuff. I know about the panels and the batteries, boom, that's it, and a charge controller. After about 5 days, he finally contacted me back and says, have you checked out our current build, what we have already got built and boxed up and ready to ship out? It's like I wasn't looking for a Walmart checker cashier. I was looking for somebody who was going to help me design a system. Well, that turned out to be a joke. Like I said, after a week, 5 days, he finally says, well, have you checked out our standard stock systems? It's like I wasn't interested in one of those because I could have very easily ordered that. So I blew off Renogy. It's like, screw that. Renogy, I was not interested in Renogy at all at that point. I kept going back and forth between Windy Nation and Missouri Wind and Solar and Northern Arizona Wind and Solar, or whatever their name is. And I sent out some emails. The only one who responded was somebody who supposedly knew what they were talking about was Missouri Wind and Solar. Sam Buffington did a very good job. At that time, by that time, I had already got my solar panels. I had already got my batteries because time kept clicking away, and I wanted to get this thing set up. I was trying to get moved out here, get all ready for that, you know. So he designed a system for me. Beautiful system, looks great. The only thing he didn't put into it was the inverter. I ordered that myself. He couldn't match the price, and its name's 3,000 watt inverter, so should be good. So, like I said, I ordered all the parts from Missouri Wind and Solar. He designed it for me. I just told him I had the solar panels and the batteries, but he put the rest of the system, the circuit breakers, the boxes, the fuses, which is where the one problem came in. He sent me a fuse that was designed for no larger than 4-gauge wire. But he sent me 1-gauge wire or whatever to hook up the batteries to the inverter. So it's like, why do you sell stuff like that? You know, it's not designed for it. Don't sell it for that. But that was the best they had, so that's the way it worked. But like I said, I'd already been irritated so much from Renogy that I refused to do any business with them. It's like, if they don't want $4,000, if none of these companies want my $4,000, then I'll find somebody who does. Well, like I said, it ended up costing me about $3,100 because I downsized the system. My $4,000 was for about a 1,200 watts solar setup. And I ended up doing it with an 800 watt or 900 watt. And like I said, but it was piecemeal together, other than the power board, whatever you want to call it, that I put together, that Sam put together. And then I had to call him up and say, okay, how does this stuff go together? Because I didn't have a clue. There was no diagram, no writing, no nothing. But he was more than helpful. Very, he was right there. Anytime I needed him, boom, he was there. But then I had it set up so that only 7 of the panels were operating the house, the TV and all that stuff. So I had 700 watts there. And I had 2 panels. Well, I had 2 set aside. I was using one to charge the house battery that powers the DC lights and the water pump and the furnace when I need it, which I have used already. But for some reason, and I had these from the Windy Nation solar panels and the Windy Nation charge controllers. I think both panels are fried and both charge controllers are fried. I can't get a bit of juice out of any of it. So I finally broke down and ordered a new Renogy solar charge controller, a Wanderer. It supposedly only has one thing that I can do on it, and that's change the battery type. It's either sealed, gel, or flooded. And when you first plug it into the battery, plug in the wires, it goes automatically to the sealed, and it says to hold the button to change it. Could never get it to change to the flooded batteries, which I'm using. So right off the bat, that didn't work. I hooked up my solar panels, and the light never came on. The light came on when I hooked up the batteries, but never came on when I hooked up the solar panels. So it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of crap solar charge controller. So I'm totally done doing any business at all with Renogy. I refuse to even buy Z brackets from them. I won't even buy nothing from them. It's just, why can't they make a solar charge controller that works? I mean, it's like, I don't need an expensive one. I don't need a fancy one. I just need something to stop the front batteries from overcharging. It looks like that's going to be almost impossible. So, like I said, I got what I got from Missouri Wind and Solar. I'm still looking for a cheap charge controller to just not overcharge 2 batteries. That's all I need it for. I'm going to hook up 2 panels, 2 100 panels in parallel when I get the connections for it, but I only had one hooked up that wouldn't work. So I know 1 panel should be more than enough to power what it was I needed. So it's like, why is it so hard to spend money? It just blows my mind. Anyway, again, this was just a rant on the problems I've had getting solar. So if you're going to do solar, plan early, order early, get it early, because it ain't going to come out right the first time, guaranteed. I kept telling myself I need to have everything there, because when I go out there and hook it up, I don't want to be running back and forth into town. Well, I decided to hook it up in town, and I still had to do a bunch of running back and forth to the hardware store, to this, to get that, because it wasn't all complete, which is one thing that I said that I wanted, was it all complete. So I didn't have to, because if I'd come out here, I would have been stuck. No power, no way to, because I didn't have. Yeah, I didn't have my Jeep out here for the first week I was here. It was actually a little bit more than a week. But I just drove the motorhome out here, tried to get it all set up, get solar, all that stuff set up. And if I would have got out here and found out that I couldn't have hooked it up, I'd been one mad SOB. But it's been beautiful out here. Weather's been beautiful. Been windy. Has been hot, but I do love it hot, so I'm not concerned about that. And the solar has been what I've got. The 700 watts I've got plugged in has been powering everything and keeping the batteries up to float or above. So it's working. But no thanks to Renogy, no thanks to Windy Nation, and no thanks to the 2 local Tucson companies that I just, screw it, I'm not going to do that. Thanks to Missouri Wind and Solar, Home Depot, and Amazon. Amazon really helped. So, all right, that's the end of this rant. AZ Off-Grid Unplugged RV Ranch. Desert Horizons, take care. Bye.